How was I introduced to Carmen Sandiego? Well, the name has always seemed familiar, but living in Jamaica, we don't really play Carmen Sandiego games and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until Steven Universe made a reference that I really was introduced to her. I've been in love with fashion for a while now, so it's no surprise that just by clothes I was introduced to a whole franchise. So after years, Carmen Sandiego's back and she's looking even more stylish than ever. And she's playing a sneakier game. Well, not her per se, but it's the creators behind it who are planting little clues, and honestly, I love it. This is a theory because no one's confirmed it yet, but honey, when I start going through these, you'll realize that, oh yes, they're definitely up to something. So of course, everybody knows Carmen Sandiego for her now iconic scarlet coat and fedora, but this time, the team sets up to have us pay more attention to everyone's clothes, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you're looking at what the people are wearing, okay? Obviously, if you haven't watched it as yet, spoilers, because I will be going in detail, and on why haven't you watched Carmen Sandiego as yet? Come on, it's beautiful, believe me. It's a fabulous show and it deserves your eyes, just thank me later, okay? So let me show you a couple times they've made a subtle reference to clothing in this show. It's best to start with the file instructors. Coach Brem, for example, she wears her stylish tracksuit every freaking wear as to give us the impression that she's forever working out and being active, which would explain why she's so strong and like she's really strong. And Dr. Bellum, she dons a modern spin on the classic lab coat as to represent her love for her experimenting and inventing. The lab coat separates her from the other doctor on the team, or should I say, the professor. Now, Professor Maelstrom, he covers his body with a turtleneck and white pants, and he adds a blazer over that turtleneck, showing that he has style. But he's not too flashy. He doesn't want to distract from his mind, the only place that he doesn't cover, which is his head. So he doesn't want to distract from his mind and the work that he does in psychology. This style is in a contrast to Countess Cleo, who's just utterly ravishing to look at, and by far my favorite flipping character in the whole show. Everything she wears is just flashing and elegant, very out of the norm, which shows her eye for details. She even teaches a class showing the villains how to spot the real from the fake. And finally we have Shadow-san. This man goes around representing his culture with everything that he does, including every single piece of clothing that he wears. From his kendo gi to akama pants, these trace back to Japan, just like the origami art he teaches in his class. Sometimes for class he wears what looks like a Monsuki kimono, but for some reason the people in the show, they keep calling it a coat. Now I didn't get it at first, but I realized after watching the whole show that they were placing clues, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. So speaking of coats, number 2, passing the torch, or should I say passing the coats. No? Okay. This one is more of a fourth wall break because it hints to what's going on behind the scenes, but it's a very cool detail nevertheless. In the series, we see how Carmen got her fabulous look. She stole the crimson coat and white brim fedora from one Cookie Booker. You can even say Cookie Booker basically made her Carmen since she got her name from the hat. You know who voices Cookie? Rita Moreno. If you don't know who Rita is the original voice of Carmen in the animated show. So she basically passed over her coat to the new Carmen, who's played by the talented Gina Rodriguez. When I picked this up, I thought it was such a cool Easter egg and I literally got goosebumps, no exaggeration. I love when shows do things like this. I don't know why, but I just find it so neat when the role is taken over by someone new and the previous person is not bitter about it. Just to know that Rita gave Gina her blessings, it really warms my heart.
In just a few years, my dear, young Latinas will look up at their screens with hope in their eyes and say, I want to be just like Gina Rodriguez. Come to think of it, I think they already do. Con muchísimo cariño and love, me.
Hello? Player, I made it.
Okay, enough of that. We're not gonna start crying here. Number 3. The cleaners' teamwork is foreshadowing. Now, the cleaners are a pair of janitors who also double as henchmen for the File Academy. They do what they're told, and they do it together, cooperating with each other seamlessly. It's like they're the same person, but they're just splitting two. Their unison is indicated by the way they dress, exactly alike. When characters are dressed like this, like in uniform like this, it usually represents like a good relationship or good communication. Now, what are they foreshadowing exactly? Well, my friend, there's another pair in this show that are working with each other. I can't say they're working together because they bicker all the flipping time and one always try to belittle the other. And it's just all around horrible to watch, and their inability to communicate effectively is just ugh. It's like they're never on the same page, and honestly, it gets so tiring sometimes. Luckily though, I think it's all about to change. Number 4, the Devino Redemption. The team that finds it so hard to be on the same page is made up of Chase Devino and Julia Argent. Now, if you're familiar with Legend of Korra, let me put it in that language for you. They have a similar relationship to Varric and Julie, but it's way more dysfunctional and way less cute. However, there's something being hinted that Devino has seen the error of his ways and is ready to start treating his partner with more respect. Their clothing, from the look of it, is very contrasting in color, just like their personalities. It's like Agent Argent is always in the shadow of Devino's light. But now, the agency that they work for has decided to give them matching uniforms. Right after that information is revealed, we see Devino seemingly reflecting at his bad treatment of Jules, which leads to us believing that the matching uniform, whenever they get it, just like the cleaners, they will be more of a team and more able to communicate effectively. If this happens, there will be a force to reckon with, because if you take Agent Argent's smarts and Devino's thrill for the chase and the adventure, you'll have a definitely amazing team right there. So let's hope they work it out. And finally, we have the biggest clue that a lot of us missed. The curious tale of two coats. Now, earlier I made mention of Shadow-san's Mansuki kimono that they keep referring to as a coat in the show.
Somewhere in my coat lies a $1 bill. The coat has many pockets.
The coat was empty, wasn't it?
Heck, the guy has a whole lesson plan surrounding this quote-unquote coat. So other than him though, which other character in the show has an attachment to coats? None other than...
La Femme Rouge!
That's right, Devino. La Femme Rouge herself.
I'll take the tchotchke. Or what? You'll claw my coat into a bolero jacket?
Now, ever since Carmen left the Isle of Vile, she's been plagued with wondering if the class that she failed there, where students are instructed to pick the pocket of Shadow-san, was actually set up, like, was she set up to fail? Everyone from what we've seen passed this test in one way or the other, but Carmen, she's always felt that the guy had nothing in his pocket, which would mean he cheated. Which would mean he failed her for doing something that she had no control over. However, she could never prove it, hence why it plagued her brain for so long. It wasn't until the final episode of season 1 where it was revealed that Shadow-san actually had nothing in his pocket and indeed failed her on purpose. But here's where the connection of the two coats really got crazy. Another thing that plagued Carmen was her history. She's always been told that one of the Vile instructors saved her when she was stranded in Argentina. Girl's been trying to figure out who the heck it was for years, and it turns out her hunch that it was Coach Brunt was wrong. It wasn't Brunt who saved the runt, but Shadow-san. Had we recognized the exaggeration they placed on the coat of the two characters, then it would have led us to probably ask questions like, why the one time Shadow-san chooses to send a villain after Carmen, it has to be an episode surrounding coats. Like, and why does Shadow-san hate Carmen so much, even though everyone else is cool with her? Who could have possibly cut the cards on the helicopter if Carmen was too busy on the boat and Shadow-san was the only one close by? You know what I mean? These clues have definitely gave me a better appreciation for the show, and though some are theories, I still think it's a pretty cool detail. You know what else I think is cool? The way the crew behind this designed their characters, especially the clothes. Oh my gosh, I want more, please. Yes, honey, give me more Dash Haber. Give me more Countess Cleo. I beg of you. I hope they keep this going in season 2. So let me know what you guys think about Carmen Sandiego and these little clues. Do you think it's beautiful? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm reaching? Or do you think it's actually a cool detail? let me know down in the comment section below, because I will be going down there to read and really go through some of them with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay positive, change the world for the better, and don't let it change you for the worse. Go around and watch my other videos because this is the end of this video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching my video today. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Debbie. Nice to meet you. I upload videos all the time on this channel, so if you don't want to miss my next video, be sure to subscribe. And speaking of videos, did you watch my last video? If not, don't worry, I got you fam, it's right here. Just go ahead and click on it, watch the video, like and subscribe, why not? See you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.